Hello and welcome to Dad Got This. We're into the tough questions like, can I get creative with a pork butt and make an amazing sandwich? And why didn't the ham go to the doctor when it got sick? The second one's easy. It was already cured. It's a 9-pound Boston butt roast. It was on sale at my local big box store, and I thought, let's do something special with it. Let's make it porchetta style. Porchetta is usually done with pork belly, but if we use the same flavors, I think we can get something really nice out of it. To do that, I want to butterfly this. I've never butterflied a Boston butt, so let's see how this works. I am thinking, okay, I got a bone right here and a bone right here. These bones might make it difficult. Let's see how we go. We're gonna cut real close to these bones and just see where it gets me. Now I could just do this without the butterflying, but I think I wanna get the extra flavor in there that butterflying will get me. Usually, I take these bones out after I cook, and they just pull out, but let's see what we can do. I feel kind of like a surgeon. Because I've already kind of got a nice slit going here, I'm gonna cut the top and start rolling back from the top. This may have worked out pretty solid. All right, now we're gonna try to get the rest of this bone out. This definitely would have been easier with a boneless roast, but that's not what was on sale. The bone is going to determine what this thing ends up looking like. Looks like we're going to have a hole, but not too bad. First time for everything, right? Not too bad. What did we end up with? A pretty mangled double piece of pork, a little chunk there. I'm going to keep trying to open this guy up because I want to get seasoning throughout. That's the goal. We're going to roll this back up anyway, so I'm not too worried about how pretty it looks at this point. Just open is the goal. Not bad. I'm okay with this. Next up, we are going to hit it with this little thing. I think it's called a jacquard. Basically just pokes a bunch of holes in it and lets seasoning penetrate. It also mechanically tenderizes it. Hammer. Now we're going to mallet it down, kind of get it a little bit more even so that everything lays nice and flat when we roll it. Not bad. We're gonna flip it back to the inside part because I think I want that outside with the fat cap to be my presentation side. And the first thing we're gonna do is season it up with some salt. Diamond Crystal Kosher salt. Nice light dusting. Dad dust, 50% granulated garlic, 50% granulated onion. Splash of MSG. And some brisket pepper. This is just like a chunky pepper. And same for the other side. Pretty thick piece of meat can take quite a bit of seasoning. Back to the other side. And we're just gonna let this rest like this while we work on step 2. This next part, it really helps to have a food processor. We're gonna make up kind of like a spice paste with some classic Italian flavors of garlic, fennel seed, and lemon zest. We'll bring it all together with some olive oil. It's a big piece of pork. So this is like 20 cloves of garlic. We'll see where that gets us. Basically, 2 handfuls of garlic. We'll start off with a tablespoon of fennel seeds. Making a lot. 2 tablespoons of fennel seeds and the zest of a lemon, just the yellow part. We're gonna add the juice of this lemon also. Now we're gonna do chop. Let's do high. Nice and choppy, I'm good with that. I'm gonna add the rest of this garlic. This was 1 bag, it was 0.6 ounces of garlic. I'd rather have extra, and we're gonna add 2 more tablespoons. 0.6 ounces of garlic, 4 tablespoons of fennel seed. I want more oil. I kind of wish this fennel seed would have crushed up a little bit better. All right, let's push the rest of this down. Process again. That's gonna work. I forgot, I actually have some rosemary that I wanted to use in here too. So we're gonna go ahead, pull our rosemary off. All right, we're gonna put about half of this in here. and just give it a quick run. I didn't put any salt in this because we've already salted our meat. I hope you like garlic. And now comes the fun part where we Frankenstein this monster back together. The goal is a nice kind of round, originally shaped roast. Tuck everybody back in. Let's tie this bad boy up. I think I'm going to need a lot of these. It's ugly, but I think it'll work. The last thing I want to do is get a little bit of an herb crust on it. So I'm going to take some of this fennel seed, another 2 tablespoons of it or so, and my remaining rosemary in a mortar and pestle. And I'm going to beat it up a little bit to try to get it a little bit easier to work with. That smells wonderful. We're going to take some of our olive oil, pop it on there, healthy little rub. And then this guy, we'll start on the back side. I think I have enough. Roll back to the top side. Because it's 50 degrees outside and it's raining and I don't want to deal with any of my other cookers, I'm using the Ninja Woodfire. I have the pellet hopper. I have filled it with pellets, smoking pecan, and giving it the dad shake. The dad shake either compacts the pellets and makes it burn better, separates the pellets and gives it lots of air and makes it burn better, or does absolutely nothing and just makes me feel like it burns better. I still do it every time. We're gonna go set this in the wood fire and set it to cold smoke 1 hour. We're gonna wait for that to ignite and then stick this in. Do not throw this away. Roast it, put it in some water, boil it, make an amazing pork stock. As I always do, I'm going to use this little elevated rack so I get good smoke penetration all the way around. I put mine in before the whole pre-ignite happened because I'm using the smoke and pecan pellets and they don't give an off flavor under heavy smoke. That's why I like them. In here, I've got some apple cider vinegar, some water, and a little bit of apple juice. Smoke is attracted to the moisture, so we're gonna spray this down like every 15 minutes under this first hour. Our 1 hour cold smoke is up, so now we're gonna go ahead and switch this over to our normal smoking temperature of 275 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna stick a probe in it, and we're gonna cook this bad boy till it reaches about 185 Fahrenheit. Because I have the ProConnect XL, I'm gonna go ahead and set this up as a thermometer cook. I wanna go to 185 Fahrenheit. And always make sure you double check your temp, because after you set it the first time and then do it in the app, mine defaults back to cold. So I gotta go ahead and reset it to 275. That's gonna take a while. I'll see you in a little bit. I'll check in every once in a while. Our pork's been in there about 2 hours. I've spritzed it a couple times and I topped the pellet hopper off once. Let's go check on it. Oh, that looks good. Looks absolutely fantastic. I'm really happy with it. It's at about 130 degrees Fahrenheit right now, so it's still got a ways to go. So I'll just keep babysitting it. See you when it's done. After about 4 hours total cook time, we have what I can only describe as a very pretty piece of pork. Say that 10 times fast. Very pretty piece of pork, 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 very pretty pork, very pretty. Nope, can't do it. All right, let's check it for probe tenderness. Let's see first off where it finished. 187. That is bang on. Now, let's just to, okay. It's not like super probe tender. It has a little bit of a give to it, which is what we want. We don't want pulled pork. I'd like to get slices. We still have to wait. I'm gonna let this rest for at least 30 minutes to really kind of just let all those juices redistribute and kind of get it closer to that slicing temperature of around 145, 150 Fahrenheit. See you guys in a little bit. It has been an hour and this is still at 165 degrees Fahrenheit, so should be okay. We gotta remove all of our string, because nobody wants to eat string. I think we got it. We're gonna go right down the middle. Let's get a cross section. Not bad. I think I still have some string. And I think this is a sandwich meat. Let's make a sandwich. A couple of nice little thin slices. Ooh, that works nice. It has like a nice crust on the outside. Probably 2 slices is plenty for a sandy. I gotta try it. I've got a nice ciabatta roll and I just bought some pesto. I thought pesto would be a really nice fresh addition to the sandwich are slices of pork. I thought some burrata would be fantastic on this guy. It's gonna add like a creaminess to the sandwich. Don't need too much. And some roasted red peppers. A little more pesto. And that, folks, is Dad's Italian porchetta style Boston butt ciabatta, burrata, tomato, potato. None of those are in there. That's my sandwich. One slice was probably enough, but why not? That's a sandwich right there. That is great. Wow. I'm going in for another bite. Hold on. Let me get this side here that's got all this burrata. Oh man, that's a 3 paper towel sandwich right there. That is fantastic. The recipe is going to be on my website, dadgotthis.com. And on that website, you can also buy my Ninja Woodfire cookbook if you need more woodfire recipes, called Bad Jokes, Good Food. There's over 24 great woodfire recipes in there, and it helps support the channel. Speaking of supporting the channel, if you're enjoying this, do the likey subscribe thing. YouTube loves it when you leave a like. I love it when you leave a comment. I answer just about every comment in my comment section. Want to support the channel? Consider becoming a member. You get early access to video and all kinds of fun stuff. But if you can't, subscribing is enough. For a small channel like mine, it really matters. So with all that out of the way, I guess there's only one question left to answer. What's the best kind of party to throw a pig? A sow prize party. Yeah, pretty bad. Dad may tell horrible dad jokes, cook amazing pork, but one thing Dad will never do is an outro. So that's it. Bye. This is the part where I thank all of my members. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you so much for your support, and rock on. I don't know why I said rock on, but rock on. You say you like brisket, ribs, and pumpkin pie, but can you handle the dad jokes that come with them? My cookbook, Bad Jokes, Good Food, has over 24 woodfire recipes guaranteed to make you hungry and groan at the same time. Order your copy now at dadgotthis.com.